one of the biggest topics in the media, mainstream media, anywhere you go in the last 4 years has been Donald Trump. Now, the big question for everyone is he another New World Order puppet? Or is he, this rogue guy who's fighting the cabal? Now, let's go look through Trump's history, who this guy is. Now, him and his kids are both Jesuit educated. He's got Fordham University there at Georgetown, just Jesuit schools. His dad made money in very unscrupulous ways. These are bankruptcy whores, and then if you look at Donald Trump's uncle, who Donald Trump has talked about many times, he was one of these fraud MIT scientists, just like a Shiva or many of these other frauds that have been put forth to talk to the American people from MIT. When they killed Nikola Tesla and the FBI stole all his work, this guy, Uncle John G. Trump, Trump's uncle, was chosen to talk to the American people on the television and tell people that Tesla's work was nothing but a bunch of speculation and conjecture, and there was nothing really there, when in reality the government went and built all that out in huge black ops programs, many of it funded by either drug dealing or stealing of the people's money through taxes and various other types of theft. Now Nikola Tesla had a couple inventions that he knew were actually very powerful and dangerous if they got into the wrong hands, so he was hiding those purposely. And the reason he was killed was because they wanted to steal those technologies from him, which they would then turn around and use against the people of America and just planet Earth in general. Anyhow, Uncle John G. Trump was the one who told the American people it was the chosen liar, just like right now Fauci's the chosen liar, and they've had a lot of different chosen liars throughout history who told people it was nothing. So Trump is sold on the television as a real estate, mogul, investor, whatever, extraordinaire, right? In reality, if you take a look at it, Trump's not in real estate at all. He's not a billionaire or anything. He's not rich at all. There's a company called Resorts International that builds resorts, casinos, casino hotels, and all these resorts that had the Trump name on them. Resorts International is owned by elements within the old Russian mob, which is the Rothschilds, and these seed companies the CIA has. So Resorts International went bankrupt 4 or 5 times, and they didn't pay, just like how they have all these things like Trump didn't pay workers. He went bankrupt when he was developing in New York and all these different places or whatever. Well, that was when Resorts International went bankrupt those few times, and when they did, they were bailed out by the Rothschilds. They were bailed out by another fraudulent company the Rothschilds have. And so the Trump name was just being put on all these on all these hotels and these different developments, but he isn't actually doing anything as far as the money behind it or the marketing behind it or anything. It's just his name. Trump is just a television actor. They, in order to gain notoriety for him, so they could later sell him as this rogue, rogue element that's going to go against the cabal. They had to make him popular and put him in our living room so it becomes a household name. So being a real estate mogul was not enough. So they had to give him his own television show, the You're Fired. And so he's a real television actor. That's all he is. And then he was sold to us he's now being sold as the acting president. He's still an actor, the acting president. And through various psychological operations, namely the QAnon QAnon psyop or psychological operation that's pushing this Trump will save America psyop. So Trump doesn't call any shots at all. He's got 37 layers of secrecy above him that control what goes on in all these underground bunkers and such. So he doesn't have any call in that. He's literally kind of a surface level actor that's going to read a script on the teleprompter for the people. Now, this QAnon, people don't even know what QAnon is. QAnon is short for ? Anonymous. QAnon, it's the old Guy Fawkes psyop with the vendetta mask. This is not a group within the CIA that's, gone rogue or whatever. You don't go rogue. You don't leave the CIA or anything like that. This is a CIA psyop is what it actually is. So, Trump's been sold to a lot of these fake Christian people as a savior, because when you sell somebody one fake savior, you can sell them another one very easily. So he's been sold to these, kind of what you would call slightly racist, Americans that are fake Christians. They really cling to that, that quote unquote belief system. Most have not even read the Bible. They don't know it well at all. They don't, they're just in name only. They could, if you started asking them any questions, they wouldn't know anything about it. So this is who he's been sold to, and then he's been sold to through the alternative media as this QAnon, through this we call serving up the Q-Laid, So all the people who are the Q-tards drinking the Q-Laid, the MAGA-tards, where some puppet actor's gonna come save you and make your country great again while you sit back and do nothing. Anyway, folks, so yeah, they chose Donald Trump actually many decades ago in 1971 through Project Pegasus and the Chronovisor program. They told 4 people they were going to be presidents in the future in 1971. Bush Sr., Bush Jr., and Bush Jr. slipped once and said, me and my daddy are going to be president, before his dad was ever president. Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. So those 4 have known they were going to be president since 1971. This is why Donald Trump's always been such a cocky guy, because he already knew he was going to be president. He didn't, that it was already pre-chosen, even though he's failed at every single venture he's ever in his life, bankrupted every single one of them. All of them have gone bankrupt, and if they're still carrying the Trump name, it has nothing to do with it. It's just the name. It's just for advertising purposes, not owned by Trump or even companies artificially backing Trump or the Trump name. So, folks, this is just another puppet actor, another New World Order puppet. Now, they got him on tape with a 13-year-old on the CIA island they call Epstein's Island. So even though he comes from one of these cabal, low-level, dark Illuminati families, they still corrupt their own. Make sure that nobody tries to leave the club. Like Kennedy tried to expose a couple things, and he was from a mafia family. So after Kennedy, they were like, no more. We got to have some sexual stuff with minors on every single one of these guys. And that's a big part of what all the pedophilia and child trafficking is all about, because all the politicians are being blackmailed through, most of them are, gay anyways, and have been caught on camera with, little boys and such. That's where it goes. So they got Trump with a 13-year-old, and that was even in court, and then it got thrown out, but it didn't really get thrown out. That's the blackmail. They make sure that he can't, that he's going to read the teleprompter and do exactly as they say.